Welcome back to Pad Wives Unfiltered. My name is Sophie.
And my name's Kirsha, and we met probably 2 years ago, wasn't it?
4 years ago.
Was it 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
Oh dear.
And we are both military wives, and we talk about everything to do with military spouse life and just surviving life in our 30s.
In our 30s, which we definitely do not do very well, but we give it a good go.
We do. And here is our top 10 most asked questions about military wife life, and we're going to answer them for you.
We are. So I'm going to start this off and kick this off. We had a question come in from Sarah. Now, Sarah asks, how do we keep our relationship strong with long separations? And I think you will be really good at answering this. So, Soph, genuinely, how do you keep your relationship strong with long periods of time of being away? Because you do this a lot more than me.
I do this a lot. I think keeping the relationship strong depends on the couple and how relationships work. Some people are better with acts of service or, physical touch and things like that. So I think for me, in this lifestyle, communication is just so important. And I know that sounds so cliche, but
it's true.
It really is so important because you need to know where the other stands.
Yeah.
And creating routine and romanticizing. I know, right, don't laugh, but I love Dear John, the film.
Yeah.
It was the first film Josh and I watched together. And just, writing letters and romanticizing the time apart like you're in a movie.
Do you know what? I have to agree with that because one of the things that I loved when Reese was away was the e-blueies. I don't think
you
they
say this
do
all the
them
time,
anymore.
But I have no idea what you're talking about.
But they were like these little blue letters that you used to get. They used to get delivered in the post, but then they moved it over to email, which I just didn't find hit the spot as well as much as getting the letters.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying about the romanticizing because I still have them. I keep them all.
Yeah, and I think as well, if writing letters isn't your jam, you could do like videos, like document your life. You know, hi, I did this today. And, I can't wait to take you here. I can't wait to watch this TV series when you get back, that kind of thing. And have things to look forward to. And I know you can't always have communication. So it's a bit hard because sometimes you won't, if it's ped red, you won't have any comms. So, yeah, I think...
I used to just send text messages even though I knew we wouldn't get them.
Voice record so they can listen when they do have their phones.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like I would literally, if I wanted to offload and I had no one else to offload to, I would send several text messages. I didn't give a shit how many came through.
Yeah.
But
I will double text message. Yeah. I have one, and I thought this was a really lovely one. This is from Megan, and she asked, what's your favorite part about being a military spouse? What would you say, Kirsha, is your favorite part?
I'd probably say the opportunities of moving. I know there's sometimes restriction on certain aspects. However, I think the opportunities that you do get with postings, for example, to explore different places, that is my favorite part of it.
Yeah, I would say that would be mine, but my husband never moves, which is also really lovely because we can, you have
a base.
We have a base.
Yeah.
But I would not say no to an abroad posting.
No.
I would love to go abroad. But I think, and again, cliche, but the community, like the events, and you go around and you're just surrounded by people who get it.
Yes.
And you've got there's loads of stuff for the kids, particularly where we're based in Aldershot. You've got the museum and the family days, and there's loads of stuff to do, and you can see all people who are living that same lifestyle going, like, having fun, and it is really nice to meet people.
Yeah, because I think they are doing a lot more now where it is family orientated. Whereas, it always has been, but there is a lot more opportunities there with regards to the family, it being to do with families.
Yeah, and no one bats an eyelid. It's like you knock on your neighbour's door, you may have never met them or they've met, and you're like, I need help. And, like 9 times out of 10, don't get me wrong, there are some bad eggs who will be like, no.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10 they'll be like, they get it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
it was actually on the estate that we live on that I saw a post, and it was this woman thanking their next door neighbour for helping them move in because her husband was away.
Oh, that's so
like, that's
cute.
just, you wouldn't ordinarily get that elsewhere.
No, you wouldn't. No, that's cute. What's your next one?
Okay, so my next one is from Millie.
Mm-hmm.
Millie has asked, how do other military spouses make friends? Now, this is actually a question that we have received a lot. So
you find one and you don't let them go, no matter how hard they try to run.
I've tried to run so much and it just hasn't worked. So yeah, Soph, how did you make friends? Tell me how you managed that.
I knocked on your door, said, hi, you're my new friend. And no, I think it is just about, we've said this before, you don't need a tribe. You just need your one person. If you find a tribe, then happy days, that's so good. But you do need to put yourself out there. It's like in school. How did we all make friends in school? You do have to have that initial conversation with people, whether it be on a Facebook group that you're like, can we meet up and go for coffee, or saying, oh, I've just moved to the area, is there anyone who'd like to meet up, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or just knocking on your neighbour's door and giving them a bouquet of flowers and being like, hi, I just want to introduce myself. You know how in America they give muffin baskets? Why don't we do that?
I would do a lot for a muffin basket.
Yeah, the little mini muffins. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should introduce that in the military community.
Pad
Wife muffin basket.
Do you know what?
Basket. This video is very kindly sponsored by Fourswear, which is a veteran-owned and operated business. They have such a range to choose from, and it's all 100% cotton and manufactured in the UK.
They are, honestly, the quality is amazing. And for example, this is for my husband who is in the RLC. We've got, in my defence, I was left unsupervised, which I don't tend to do.
Yeah, and Josh is in the Irish Guards. Cannot wait to give this to them.
We cannot do muff basket.
Okay.
Leroy baskets, maybe.
Yeah, like little welcome pack. Like, I don't know, just stuff like that. And
yeah, see, I will be completely honest. I think I've mentioned a few times that I have like trust issues with people, so it takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to kind of open up, right? But
when she does, she just doesn't stop.
Yeah, but I think, and I've said this when people have messaged me, you have to, like you said, put yourself out there, because if you don't, military wife life, or just military life in general, can get so lonely. And even if it is, like you say, on a Facebook group, because that's actually how I found you.
Oh yeah,
it was because I put a post up on there, and you were very much right with regards to, you don't need to have a tribe. Like, you can see people have these massive amount of friends.
Are they friends though?
Well, I don't know, but you can sit there, and I know I've been guilty of that. I'm like, I don't have that many friends. Should I have that many friends? And in reality, you
don't compare yourself.
No,
it doesn't matter whether you have one
friends.
or 50.
Yeah. One person can significantly change how you're feeling.
Look how I changed Kirsha for the better.
You're such an ass.
Okay, this is one from Cantley. I'm not sure how to say the name, but Cantley. How do you find support for wives and families that choose to stay in their own home to help with kids' education? I think, again, this is a good question for you because you have kids. So they've decided not to move into military housing and to stay buy their own house or rent their own house back where they're from to keep the kids' education stable.
So I completely get that. I mean, not fully get that, because we haven't chosen to stay in our own home. Like, I am still, you know, I would still move with him in military quarters, but I do get where she's coming from with respect to staying in the same place for the kids, because we are seriously considering that at the moment. Just because Josh is in year 5, we kind of want him to finish in the school that he's in. So I 100% get that. But with regards to the support, I won't lie, I don't know whether you have heard, but there isn't that much support with regards to living married unaccompanied. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. And I do think that I've seen a lot of posts online of people who do live unaccompanied and it being difficult. but it is what's best for their family and their
Yes.
choice, which is fine. But it would be very, very difficult for the military community, like welfare and things like that, to put things in place because everything will be so sparse unless you've chosen a base near the community.
Yeah.
I think it would be hard for them to support. And I think again it's about the individuals reaching out on groups or maybe reaching out to the local area to see if there are other people living unaccompanied.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I have seen, and I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it's Safa. They have a few bits of information on that.
Okay.
And I think it was NFF. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it was NFF and Safa. But they have certain, not information packs, but
Resources.
Yeah, for people living married unaccompanied. I can't fully comment because I'm not 100% sure on it, but
let us know in the comments if you have any advice or you've experienced living married unaccompanied at all and you have any advice for this question. We can only comment on the things we know, but it's not something we've personally experienced.
No. Okay, so my next question is, and you are a guru at this. This is from Tegan. I want to know any top tips you have and any advice for moving into your first military quarter. So, Sophie, what advice do you have?
Oh, where to start? My first one is you need to print 2 14-day reports.
Yes.
Or print one and photocopy what you've made note. So when they say, well, you didn't put that on the 14-day report, you can be like,
or they lose it.
Or they lose it, which does happen. You've got it to hand and you can say, well, I've done this. Make note of everything. The slightest scuff on the wall that you think is irrelevant, make note of it, take a picture of it, whatever, just so you've got it to hand. And
film it. Honestly, record you going around on the march in, because if you've got that there and you have those bits, you've got backup. They can't say anything.
They can't say anything. As well, enjoy moving house. I don't know whether it's just me. I love walking into a new house and I'm like, ooh, what am I going to do in here? What picture's going to go in here? How am I going to do it? So enjoy it. But my top tip for anyone moving house, military or not, make your bed first, because no matter what unpacking you get done, you have got a place to sleep, because there's nothing worse than you're absolutely exhausted and you're like, I've got no bed, or even just a mattress on the floor and an open first box. Absolute must. What would you put in an open first box?
Loo roll.
Obviously.
100%. Loo roll, tea bags, kettle.
Mugs,
obviously. Glasses. Well, you don't really need glasses if you've got your mugs.
Bin bags.
And
make sure that your Hoover and you've got like disposable wipes or cleaning products, especially military housing. You're going to want to clean that bitch.
Anti-bac. Yeah. But no, I think, that's really good. And the other thing that I would probably say is, with regards to when you have those, the moving in forms, the other thing that you would also need to do is take pictures of your meter readings.
Yes.
That is the first thing that I do. I
always forget to do that.
Yeah, no, first thing you got to do is take pictures of your meter readings, because you also don't want to start being charged extra for things that...
For previous people. Yeah, absolutely. And make sure that prior you've got all you've done your research into like internet, electricity and gas. Like, is it on Camp Electric or do you have to go external? That kind of thing. Those are all things that people forget to do, and updating like your address.
Well, some people get their Wi-Fi boxes sent beforehand.
Yeah, I do, to be fair.
I forget all the time.
I'm not being in a house without Wi-Fi. No. So this is another one. I've got all the Megans today. This is from a Megan Alder, and she has asked, she's coming to the end of a 6-month deployment, the last month specifically. Why does the last month feel so much worse?
It's the anticipation. That's what I feel. I am the worst before, and I am the worst just before he gets home. And I think it's the anticipation. And do you know what it is? It's the wondering whether it's going to be...
Is it going to happen?
Extended.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it's going to happen or not, because you don't... you almost don't want to get excited, but you almost do want to get excited because you're like, that's your person coming
But then
home.
it's like, am I going to be excited for my whole dreams to be crushed?
Yes. Yeah. That's what I hated, was the anxiety of whether I am going to see him on that date that I've been given, but then also I don't want to hold my breath. But then I also do want to get excited for him being home, because, when your person comes home, like, the feeling that you get from that, like, you can't really explain it.
And it does feel like it drags, because it's like when you're excited for, I don't know, going to a new concert or something, you're like, oh, why can't it be that day already? That is what it's like when you're waiting for them to come home.
Yeah.
And it can feel a lot more isolating, because I don't know whether you do this, but I end up reevaluating the whole time that he was away. Like, what have I actually done? Have I done something? Have I done enough? Is the house clean? Have I had my everything shower? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do find it is, like you said, leading up to them going, and the very last point of it, the anticipation, is it going to happen? Wondering if you've done enough while they've been away, or stuff like that. It is a lot worse.
Yeah, I think it's just, it gets a lot. The thing is also, and when you've been through all of that and so many months and blah, 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 you've had a lot on your shoulders in that period of time. And then that person coming back, you're like, oh my God, I have someone that I can offload to.
I also make them do all the jobs. I'm
Poor
like,
guys just walk through the door.
I'm sorry, I've been doing it for 6 months, take the bin out, mate.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you forget to do the bin all the time?
Yeah, I hate doing it as well. It just gives me the ick.
I said to Reese, I was like, it's literally your job. I'm not doing it. Okay. So, next one I have is from Lily. Does anyone else really struggle with the first few days before they go away? I'm vile before he goes.
Oh, yeah. I personally, I'm like, what argument can I start to make this separation easier? And I'm literally like,
it makes it easier. It makes me
like,
feel that it'll be easier to say goodbye to him because I hate him.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, that's the thing. Whereas if I'm like really happy with him, I obviously am happy with him, but in that moment,
if I actually like him,
but in that moment, if he's done nothing wrong and I'm content, it's going to make the goodbye harder.
Yeah, 100%. I am.
I will nitpick at anything.
Yeah,
just to piss
I do too.
him off and me off.
I think he does too as well. Josh does, and so he could do literally like the tiniest thing, like literally take a shot every time I say literally.
Walk through the door.
The door, and I'm like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Why are your shoes there? And he's like, I'm just existing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, exist elsewhere.
Yeah.
And then, or I'll be like, oh, I can't wait because you're going away. I actually sorry, Josh. I actually hate it. Like, but I say that because I'm like, I'm trying to make myself feel better that it's going to be better that he's going because we're arguing. Yeah. Even though we're not. It's because I'm causing said argument.
Yeah, I do it all the time. All the time. I'm a horrible person before he goes, and I really try not to be, because I don't want to be.
You don't want that to be the last thing before they go, but then you just don't. It just kind of comes out.
No, but then there's one time where I had been like really not very nice, and we did, he had to go, and that was it. And then I felt so guilty, and I just remember watching him walk away, and there was a little window by our front door, and it was literally like the song Hello Darkness. My old friend came on, and my little face through the window, I was just crying, and I was like, I felt so guilty for being so horrible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know, it did make it feel easier.
Yeah, it does make your heart sink. It really, really does. This is from a Meg, not a Meg.
You have got all
I have got them all, yeah. Do you struggle with loss of identity when so much of life is dictated by your partner's job?
Look, there are some days where I do. Like if I've had an exceptionally hard day because I work full time, 2 children, sometimes it's difficult for him to get the time off. So if the kids are sick, it's down to me. And it's always a lot of the time it's me making that call that
whether they're there or not, because it's not as flexible.
Yeah, I can't go in. So there are some times where I'm like, this is taking the Michael a little bit. It would be nice if there was that flexibility for me, and the flexibility for him.
So it could give you flexibility.
It could give me flexibility that I don't have to make those calls all the time. So yeah, there is that frustration there. I haven't personally necessarily felt that I've kind of lost my identity as such. But, you know, I do have some frustrations with the lack of flexibility on their part. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I mean, have you?
So, yes, I have actually, but not in the sense it's hard because I work from home.
Yeah.
So I do think it's a little bit like that. I kind of was like, when was the last time I actually left the house other than to walk the dogs?
Yeah.
But also, if he is home, we share a car, so he's got the car. So I can't really do anything. I felt like I was just kind of, you know, thumbling along. I was getting up, chucking whatever clothes on, not doing any skincare, not doing any makeup. And I did feel like I'd lost, maybe not my identity, my spark a little bit. And I do think as well, when they are away, you can get yourself into a rut and feel like you've lost yourself.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily down to the job. But I think you can feel lost because no matter what way you spin it, everyone, you get the comments online, you know, oh, Pad wives make their whole identity being a military wife. To put it bluntly, it is our whole identity because
it dictates the most of our life.
So much. You know, we can't book a holiday, we can't do this unless it's okay with the military. So the military always comes into play and always has to be considered, which is fine. Yeah,
I mean, look,
you know,
recently looking to book a holiday, neither of us can book with them because
they can't.
They don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what the dates are, which is fine. Like, we accept that. That is the life that we live. But it's very irritating when someone is like, why do you make it your whole personality? It's because it does affect so much of our lives that we do have to consider it. That it can feel a little bit like I have lost myself. But
it's like going in to a bubble, if that makes sense. You are very much in a military bubble.
Yes.
And, you know, like I mentioned about the frustrations with like the kid side of things and time off work and stuff like that. And also with you working from home, it can probably feel a little bit secluded as well. And then when he has the car, you can't get out and do.
Sometimes I call you and I'm like, I haven't heard my voice today.
No, no, you don't. You have. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you do get stuck in a bubble, I'd say. And, you know, like you say, with what people making it the personalities, well, it is 99% of our life.
But it goes back to what I said earlier about romanticizing things. Enjoy making your own routine. Enjoy putting time aside for yourself to find yourself again. You know, whether it be reading a book or even a self-help book that you can kind of better your knowledge on, and all that kind of stuff is all colouring. I love colouring.
Do you know what my one is?
What?
An extra 10 minutes in the bath.
Oh.
I know that sounds so sad, but when the kids are in bed and there's just silence. I love my children, but the silence is wonderful. It's just so good.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. I've got my very, very last one.
Megan?
No, this is Lottie. And I don't really know. This is more of like a funny one. How many times a week do you mentally recalculate the years and months until your husband retires? Me, it's 1,000.
I do it every day.
Do you?
Every day.
I don't do it.
Every day.
I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a bit blunt. I'm just a bit like, you chose the job, you work the job, and then you retire. I've chosen my job, I work my job, and then I retire. Like, I don't kind of look at that. And I'm also like, well, I don't have a deposit for a house, so babe, you're staying in. I need the military housing.
Do you know what? Is that why you married him?
Obviously. Obviously. It was for the discount as well.
It was for the discount. Do you know what? I don't mind the life. I love it. But there is some days where I'm like, I would like it if he was fully mine.
Yeah, because no matter that,
they're
You
on
are
loan
second.
to us. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
they
They
are.
are on loan to us.
We rent them.
We literally,
Mm.
you know, I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it.
I
But yeah,
know what you were going to say.
but yeah, they are loaned to us, and we every so often have to give them back. And I would like me not to have to give him back sometimes.
Or it would be nice
Sometimes.
to be able to book a holiday.
Or yeah, even that.
That's not in the school holidays and costs £10 million.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
That'll be nice.
Have you got one more?
I think I have one more.
Because I've
Okay. I have one from Amy, and I quite like this one actually.
Mhm.
My anxiety is so high when we're on limited contact. I never want to miss the phone call, but I know some people cope so well when their partners are away. What are your tips for coping? What are your tips for coping? Because I won't lie to you, you are cracking at it. I completely get where she's coming from with the anxiety thing, because I remember when Reese was away in like wherever he was, and it was limited contact, and I was at work, and I would have my phone
You've
with
said
me
this
the
to me
entire
before.
time, because I was so scared to miss that one phone call, one opportunity to speak to him, even if it was a 2-minute thing.
Oh, it's hard because I have just got used to the fact that he goes away. I just accept it. Like when he goes away for a week or 2 weeks now, I'm just like, really? All right. That's to me is like 2 hours,
Yeah, that's
you know,
nothing.
because it's normally 6 months or longer.
Yeah.
Again, I just keep going back to it, just like finding my routine and my flow, and you know, putting on my favorite music while I clean the house, and I can clean it to the standard that I like. Chuck away all his clothes that have got holes in and stuff.
Literally did that.
Yeah, I know. I just kind of think of all the stuff that I'm like, oh, I can do this and I can do that. Don't get me wrong, I have days where I'm like, oh, I'm so sad. I hate sleeping in the bed on my own.
Oh yeah.
I hate being in the house on my own. I think for me as well, because I don't have children, I'm literally on my own. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like double checking the doors and all that kind of stuff. But just trying to find what works for you, and when it works, roll with it. Don't compare yourself to every Jane Doe on the internet who's saying you must do this, you must do that, or this is going to help you. Take what they're saying and take what, you know, obviously advice on what helps other people and try it. But don't be disheartened if that particular advice doesn't work for you, because something else will, and something will work, and then that's what you go with.
Yeah, and I think it also boils down to, because even before we had children, like you say, when you are on your own and you don't have kids, like you are fully,
It's silent.
It's silence.
Unless you've got a German Shepherd who barks every day.
Yeah, unless you've got, But I would get very lonely because I didn't put myself out there. I think another part of the coping mechanism was the fact that I didn't have anybody, and that's what made it worse. So I think if you haven't got anybody right now, I would advise, you know, put yourself out there, make those friends.
Go to a coffee morning.
Go to a coffee morning, because, you know, when you, other people that are in this community, they get it. So if you are having a rubbish day, you then have somebody to turn to. And I think the other thing is distraction.
Yeah.
If you've got something there to distract you, you're not consistently dwelling on the fact that
Try
they're
a new
away.
skill.
Yeah. Hobby. Get a new hobby.
Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah.
I don't have to say coming that from someone who does not have a hobby.
You actually have 0 hobbies.
I have 0 hobbies. I just don't have time.
No, you don't.
But yeah, I think it can get lonely, but definitely put yourself out there. And I totally relate to the anxiety thing of missing the phone call, because I get like that. I just don't want to lose out.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you have any advice for any of the questions that we've had on the episode today, or if you've got any further questions that you'd like us to answer.
Yeah, I think we do get quite a few come in. So yeah, let us know if you have any more questions or anything else that you'd like us to talk about, share, anything like that at all.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this episode. And if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And we will catch you on the next one.